What is going on out there, peeps? All right, it's hard not to continue talking about silver because there's so much chatter going on around the world. It's not even funny. It seems to me and many others that we are now in a position where we can actually crash all the commercial banks. Yeah, that's where we are. We're going to get into that, but I want to encourage everybody, if you had not bought silver yet or you haven't thought about it, right now might be a good damn time. There's a scarcity going on. You can hear people talking about it. It was already scarce in the first place. Now, this whole thing with Reddit, it's crazy. We're going to get into that. If you're thinking about buying precious metals and you are a first-time buyer, check out our friends over there. Wow, even if you're continuing, you know better, guys. Come on over there to Money Metals Exchange. For the first-time buyers, if you spend more than $100 on precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. Right now is a pretty damn good time. I heard people earlier today, some people that I listened to religiously, one of the people that was on the panel said that she felt it was time because what was going on in the market scared her, and she moved her entire 401ks and her other IRAs over into 100% physical gold or silver. Now, if you guys are thinking about doing that, Money Metals does have that option there. She says she doesn't trust none of the stocks, none of these cryptocurrencies, nothing. Everything is artificially pumped, and all hell's about to break loose. And she said right now the safe bet is gold and silver. And I told you guys I did that a while ago. Some of you guys did it too. Hang tight. It's about to get ugly in a good way. All right, you guys know I got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over there. It's free to join. You guys know I also have LBRY. It's the same as YouTube, except for they don't do any of the editing or anything like that. So all my full videos are over here, including ones from the hidden things in front of your eyes. So come through. The link is down below. All free to join. So we're going to listen to Este Bullion because I want to analyze part of the stuff they're talking about. And last night it was bothering the bejeebus out of me. I could not think of the guy who tried to talk everybody into buying just 1 ounce of silver. Everybody buy 1 ounce of silver and we could crash the banks. Well, he's on here again. All right, so let's pay attention. Listen to SD Bullion. I will leave the link for this video so you can come check it out yourself.
Behind the short squeezes goes like this. Hundreds of thousands of young Gen Z and millennial stock traders use their subreddit forum to discuss openly ideas on how to make leverage bets in the stock and options market in order to make outsized returns. Often these young traders use the Robinhood app and use acronyms such as YOLO and basically their stimulus checks put them all on highly leveraged bets. Collectively, they targeted floundering, heavily shorted stocks like GameStop, AMC, and Nokia as their recent short squeeze targets. By placing long options call bets, they force market makers to cover their hedges, and this phenomenon, once feeding on itself, can force those that are naked shorting these stocks to have to go out and into the market to buy those stocks. The kids en masse hold the line, refusing to sell their shares for profits, using their diamond hands, as they say, and this forces the price up to the moon in an exponential fashion as these shorts bleed losses day after day in their margin accounts and are forced to go out and pay ever higher prices for any remaining shares that are out and available.
See, they do the same thing with gold, silver. It's when you see the price drop down, people panic, they sell their gold and their silver. I told you don't incur a loss until you sell it. So they wait for you to do that. Then when the prices are low and there's plenty of inventory there, they buy it. And that's how we get screwed over all the time. That's why I say don't panic. Hold on to it. They manipulate the markets with cryptocurrencies the same way. So if you know this is what they're talking about. You know that they manipulate the markets. You buy when it dips. Buy on a dip. So think cost average and then let it go up. But we are in a serious situation here. This is I think we have a chance to do some really impressive things. But so that's what they're talking about. These stockbrokers got together. They're day traders, and they came up with a plan. It's not illegal. What they did is they used the same system that they do to manipulate the system to gain wealth. They used it against them. So as they're making millions off this short squeeze, the people who sold, so basically what happens is these banks borrow from other people these stocks, and the goal is to get a bunch of them, and then they sell them on the market, They sell 'em, they put shorts on them. They sell them shorts. In other words, they're betting on them to lose money. By putting all these stocks on the market, it floods the market. So think supply and demand. There's too many of these stocks, so what happens is the prices drop all the way down low. When it gets as low as they can get, they buy them all back. And then they give the stocks back to whoever they got them from. And then they make a lot of money as they go up. So they increase their inventory. And then as it goes through a natural cycle of increasing in value, they gain those gains. Except for this time around, they got the stocks from somewhere else. They threw them on the market. When the prices got low, these kids jumped all over them. Millennials jumped all over them. And then it just kept going up and up. And like they said, what happens is you got two things battling each other. People who were betting on them to go long and one who were betting on them to go short. And so what's happening is instead of panicking when something, if the value swings a lot, you don't panic. Like he said, you hold the line. And that's what they're doing. Now, those same criminals who've been ripping us off for decades now are in a situation. They're losing billions of dollars every day. Thank God they got the Biden administration to get in there and bail them out because they intervened in the market, and that's illegal. So what they're trying to do is prevent the poor people from making money the same way the rich people do. That's a no-no to them. Don't be surprised if we don't see some rules or regulations come out that forbid these types of things. But the fact that Robinhood sold you guys out, if you have a Robinhood account, you need to switch. Get the hell out of there. They are more concerned about what they can do for the elite than they are for you. The whole platform, they promised it was there for the little guy, free trade, the whole 9 yards, and then they screwed you. See what I'm saying? See, they'll allow you to sell your stocks, but they won't allow you to buy any stocks or they limit them. No, don't do that. This is how corrupt the system is all the way around. That when people figure out how to do it right back to them, they'll jump in and intervene, and all of a sudden, magically, some new law will come around and prevent you from doing that. But let's keep going.
Reports are that a 34-year-old former Massachusetts Mutual Life Company marketing employee turned his 50,000 GME call option bets into nearly $50 million in peak past intra-week value. One of the more amazing parts of this story, and the screenshots that I've been watching over the past few weeks as this story's developed, is how very little he's sold off. I think last I saw maybe 14 million. So there's a lot left of his winning bet thus far. The reason why is if he sold off everything so fast, it would crash the move in the stock likely, and it would lessen the pressure on these still scrambling shorts that are out there trying to find GameStop shares to settle their margin accounts. So just after the middle of this week, front-running, data-selling freemium brokerages like Robinhood and others briefly halted long buying for short squeeze stocks like GameStop, AMC, and others. The Wall Street bets crowd understandably jeered, stating that naked shorts were rigging the casino rules to slant the table in order to help them lessen their ongoing losses. One of the most outspoken of the new stock trading crowd this past viral crisis year of 2020 into 2021, David Portney, was on Fox last night with Tucker Carlson, explaining why he believes this was such an egregious situation.
You know, I've been trading heavily since quarantine started, and I was shocked by this. I personally did invest in AMC and Nokia. Those are two of the stocks that the Reddit guys and the Wall Street Bets guys were pushing. I believed in the power of the internet. When I saw what Robinhood was doing, ironically, Robinhood take from the rich and give to the poor, even though they do the exact opposite, I was stunned. I think it's criminal. I think there has to be an investigation. I think people have to go to jail. Whether that actually happens, I don't know.
It won't.
But I've never been more convinced.
Listen to me when I tell you this. They can only get away with as much as you let them do this. Between the events on November the 3rd, between all the crap that we're seeing them doing, look, they get away with it because you do nothing about it. You are much larger as a group than you think. All right? So you don't tolerate this. All you people that got screwed over by Robinhood, sue this shit out of that company and leave it for another platform that won't screw you over.
About market manipulation and the people, the hedge funds, controlling the game than today. I mean, just to wake up and say, hey, you can't trade these stocks anymore. You can only sell them. We're going to intentionally crash the market in these stocks. And everyone who has it, tough, you're going to lose a ton of money, but we're going to save the rich people and the hedge funds.
Yep.
shocking.
This seems like a betrayal of the basic promise of American public markets, which is they're transparent. It's purely meritocratic. I mean, that's why you've been able to make dough during quarantine. You make a bet, you're right, you win. I mean, how amazing is it to discover that that's not real?
Apparently it's real for them. And I love the lectures. You hear it from the hedge funds and the suits, as I call them.
No, I mean, you got people like Elizabeth Warren. Remember, she's out there, hey, I'm for the small people. I'm against big corporation. No. She's saying she wants an investigation of Robinhood. These brokers, these politicians piss in your face all the time and tell you it's raining, and you still tolerate it. They don't care about you. They never did. Over the past 4 years under 45's administration, he's exposed them. But then all of a sudden, as soon as he stepped out that door and another one stepped in, it's even been worse to see just how they're just getting more and more exposed every day. When we have 10 million people being added to the unemployment numbers, you have these people competing for jobs. So what do? Well, first of all, BLM and Antifa over there destroying communities. You don't have jobs to go back to because they burn them down. If that's not good enough, well, guess what? Yeah, so now the jobs that are there for you to compete with, they now increase the minimum wage up to $15. Guess what that does? Small businesses, mid-sized businesses, they can't afford this. They close down. So now even more people are on unemployment. Yeah. And guess what? Now they're opening up the freaking borders. And a crap load of illegal immigrants are coming here. And nobody's going to stop them. And guess what they're going to be competing for? Yeah, your jobs. Guess what they're bringing with them? The Rona. Okay, so here's my thing. You know what's going to happen is people are going to complain, and they're going to say, look, we can't help unemployment. That's crazy. Then take universal basic income of $2,000. Everybody's like, yay. No, don't. Tell them you want the damn jobs. Now these new policies that Biden's getting ready to implement sends a lot of our jobs over to China. Yeah. Congratulations. We're not even 2 weeks in this administration. And we are being reamed. They closed the pipelines and people lost their jobs. But anyways, let's get back to how us small people can get back at these people via silver.
But they'll say they're protecting you and we're protecting you versus yourself, and people don't understand the risk and margin. And then you look at them, it's like, buddy, look in the mirror. You're doing the same thing. The hedge funds are betting against companies. We're betting on them. With money and margin, we're doing the same thing. The only difference is we're winning and you're getting your teeth kicked in. And you just said, time out. We're changing the rules. And it's bananas. It cannot happen. And I saw the Robinhood guy, Vlad, he's on TV. He's lying through his teeth. Listen, the thing that really is scary, Robinhood, I'm going to give this guy a shred of credit. When he woke up and he said, we're going to halt trading and ruin our client base, he knew that was the end of Robinhood. Robinhood's done. That company will cease to exist.
Yes, I agree, and it should. You guys need to find another platform that won't do this to you. But don't be surprised if the elite and the powers that be keep going around after all these platforms trying to figure out ways to shut them down. They need to control the masses. They need to control the slaves. Whoosh, whoosh. They can't have you guys making money.
Because what they built it on, the day trader, the retail trader, they're never going back. So he willingly blew up his company today. He knew that was going to happen. Why? Who's in the back end?
Yes.
Who's pulling the strings? Who's making the decisions?
Somebody subsidized them.
And by the way, it's not enough just to be like, oh, we're going to slap you on the wrist and give you a fine. These are billionaires. They can write billion-dollar checks like we write $10 checks. Somebody has to go to jail for this. This was intentional market manipulation.
Yes.
And it's everyday people. It's just not the Reddit people. I have people hit me up all the time today, yesterday. They're putting their rent into this.
Yep.
They got caught up in the momentum. And if you lose money fair and square, fine. But nobody was under the impression somebody could just press the stop button and say, guess what? We can crash this stock.
You people out there you guys cannot tolerate this no more. Raise holy hell. Make phone calls. Do something. The opportunity that you have to make a lot of money using the very same methodology that these people do to rip you off, and then somebody could just push a button and stop that, leave Robinhood, tank the company, find other platforms to do it on. But we're not done, because the one that's going to be the biggest is the one they just recently announced.
Without you having any say, you can only sell it. You can't buy it. What happened? This is like the movie Wall Street. It's insane.
This is a good lesson for these young investors and speculators to learn now. When playing in stock or derivative casinos, rules can and will be changed to serve the interests of ownership or those who allow said casino to even exist. The Hunt brothers' January 1980 scapegoating in the silver market is just one point in silver history we can look back to. Back then, COMEX abruptly changed the rule for COMEX silver contracts to liquidation orders only. And the margin requirement hikes then took the Hunt brothers' over-leveraged account to bankruptcy and eventually a $1.1 billion fiat Fed note bailout by the Federal Reserve. So all week, headlines from mainstream news sources to alternative media sites, there was a frenzy of excitement towards which stock or asset class might be the next short squeeze target.
Whoa, wait. Look what this tweet says, because it's important. Because he's right. The number of people tweeting in the hopes of attracting the Reddit crowd to their stock or commodity is amazing. The SEC and central banks are finally reaping the whirlwinds. Yes, as they should. So people now are communicating, but guess what they're going to do? They cannot have you people doing this. You're going to start seeing these platforms censor you. There is a better platform coming, I promise you. Trust me, I know about it. It is one that nobody, including the owners of the platform, can touch as far as the content of each content creator. I'll explain more later, but that's what I've been busy looking into. So this allows people to work together as a group. They're not doing anything illegal, but work together as a group to make money. They think you should be happy with the $600 stimulus check. Hell no. You shouldn't. Keep in mind, it's all part of the Great Reset. They want you suffering. They want you poor. They want you homeless so that you'll take the universal basic income and sign away your life.
This might be the next short squeeze target. Silver derivatives, and even silver miners with short positions became a topic reheating up in the Wall Street Bets Forum, as it also briefly did in August 2020 when silver made a run near $30 an ounce as well.
Yes, in July.
So the question stands, can this happen? Can a short squeeze on silver occur in the 2020s? My answer is yes. A confluence of targets with high capital flows could certainly help produce a short squeeze on physical silver around the world.
Oh, yes.
And ultimately, the silver spot.
No, I'm talking to people from many different countries. They're telling me, hey, they're saying, Pimpy, what do you think? I go, no, listen to me. Listen. Man, if you have any types of discretionary money in these really, really tough times right now, even if you just bought 1 ounce, the more people, even if it's just 1 damn ounce, you guys, 1 ounce. If everybody bought 1 ounce, it would crash the commercial banks. We would beat the system worldwide. You would strip the money from those who stole it from you and put it back in the hands of the people who need it the most. We are talking about the largest transformation of wealth ever.
Price and bullion product premiums would escalate substantially. Short squeezes have happened in COMEX silver, and not in the too distant past. Let's go back and look at recent history. Few know this outside of the silver space, but silver contributed heavily to the Bear Stearns spring 2008 collapse. JP Morgan's precious metals desk literally inherited Bear Stearns' bankrupt carcass, as well as a few of their alleged best criminal silver spoof traders, all of whom likely made a killing of bonuses during the global financial crisis, shorting silver down from 21 to a low in the $8 an ounce range, right around when the first injection of infinite QE began, also called QE1. JP Morgan's silver desk in the later 2010 and early 2011 basically got caught flat-footed. And they were likely naked short and were silver squeezed as silver ran from the mid-teens, to its seemingly ancient $50 an ounce high mark, tripling within about a half year of time. Also at that time, JP Morgan had no COMEX silver warehouse and likely got caught without having enough bullion and had to go out in the market, and bullion became bid up, obviously, and that's why spot ran up so high. There was increased demand around retail and a lot of excitement. Outspoken short squeezer like Max Kaiser had a campaign called Crash JP Morgan.
Yes, that's his damn name, Max Kaiser. So I did a couple of interviews. I was trying to think of this guy's name. This man almost single-handedly crashed the comics. He said the same thing back then. And he said, we're going to bankrupt JP Morgan. Help me do it. Why? He told everybody, buy just 1 ounce of silver. And here we are again in the same position.
Silver. Here's a brief idea of what that was about.
Hi, this is Max Kaiser, host
There he
of the
is.
Kaiser
Squeaky
Report. I
voice.
want to talk to you about this global viral campaign, Crash JP Morgan,
Yes.
Buy Silver. The fact is that JP Morgan is a huge player in the derivatives market. They've got a balance sheet exposure of something like $1.5 trillion. A lot of that is tied to their silver shorts. That is to say, they have sold silver contracts that don't exist. They're engaged in naked short selling. This is a form of counterfeiting. Huge hedge funds around the world are buying lots of silver because they know that if they force JP Morgan to have to buy silver in the open market, they're going to make money. So what I'm saying is you can piggyback on these huge players.
Yes.
All you need to do is buy 1 silver coin,
1.
maybe 2 silver coins,
2.
demand physical delivery of that silver, thus forcing JP Morgan and these other financial terrorists to have to cover their negative bets and put a company like JP Morgan basically forcing them into bankruptcy.
Yes.
Because there's no way they can cover their liabilities if we all buy 1 silver coin and demand physical delivery. Put JP Morgan, a financial terrorist, out of business. Buy silver.
Yes, and do it now. Let me tell you what's going on. JP Morgan last week bought 20 million ounces of silver. That's pretty big. Okay, no problem. Why? To cover the shorts. On the 28th, they bought 27 more million ounces. Do you really want to crash the system? Do you really want to put these people into bankruptcy? We're talking about some of the elites. Is it possible? Yes. We're already talking to people around the world. We're telling everybody, go buy an ounce. Buy 2 damn ounces. Do something. If you can't afford it, of course, go to Money Metals Exchange. But let me show you something about Money Metals Exchange super quick. Okay? So if you guys go buy the silver. That's what I'm saying. If you have any type of discretionary funds, any type, try to buy as many as possible. The more we buy worldwide, and we're talking about it around the world right now, the more we can crash the commercial banks. Look at this. Attention, due to extremely high weekend volume, we cannot accept any more new orders until global markets open Sunday night. So, even my great friends over there at Money Metals, look where they are. And you know I love them to death. It's like that everywhere. Even they are aware of what's going on. It's affecting the markets. People are already moving into position. So how can you help? Listen to me. Even people who've never bought silver, listen to me. Go buy 1. I don't give a crap where. Buy 1. Go to your downtown store. Go on the internet. Buy 1. I would love for you to go to Money Metals, but you can't buy any till, what is today? That's a damn shame. I don't know what day it is. So we are Saturday. So you can't buy none until after midnight tomorrow. So, okay, no problem, no problem. But find somewhere. I don't care where. Go somewhere and buy at least 1 ounce of silver. 1. Everybody, kill the market. We'll bankrupt the criminals. This is who we're going to bankrupt. We're talking about JP Morgan. They're the largest manipulators of the silver market. And then we got also the comics. It's stressed. You do understand that silver is second in commercial uses only to oil. With Biden in office, they're pushing this Green New Deal. But how can they push a Green New Deal and tell everybody to go solar panels if they don't have the silver. Because guess what solar panels are created with? They use silver. The longer we hold on to it, the higher the value. The more we buy, the more scarce the supply. Get where I'm coming from? All right, so look, even Andy here is going to talk a little bit about what's going on with silver. Pay attention to what he's saying because something was told to him that really had him concerned. Listen.
I'm great, Chris. Thanks. I appreciate it. And you're right. The divorcing of the paper price to the metals price is akin to the divorcing of the stock markets to the general economy. And it's the classic case of the tail wagging the dog. And so, yeah, I think that's a good description.
Yeah, so along those lines, we had a situation. We're recording on Wednesday, and you actually joined me on a live YouTube call earlier today. A lot of attention in the market this week about a stock called GameStop because there's apparently a chat group on Reddit that targets stocks or assets where there's an unusual short position, and the shorts on GameStop got their faces torn off. Last I checked, it was over $300 after being $20 a couple of weeks ago. Andy, it seems really interesting to imagine what could happen with silver given the current setup. Any thoughts you'd like to share on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're looking at right now a setup that could absolutely destroy the commercial banks.
Did you hear that? We are in position right now. If you ever wanted to stick it to the elites, those assholes that steal your money, now is the time. If you've never even bought silver before, that's okay. Just buy 1 ounce. 2 ounces would be better. The more you buy, the better. It's going to drive the value up of silver where it actually belongs. Now is the chance. Now is the time.
And, you know, they already last year lost a ton of money in their short book, more so than they ever did. And now, as every $8 move right now higher in silver causes the loss that they've already experienced to further by $3 billion.
So for every $8 that goes up in value, they lose $3 billion. It can climb really fast
to the 8 big shorts on COMEX. And so, you know, you're talking massive losses right now. You know, combined, the 8 big shorts combined, their total losses from last year are north of $14 billion. So, wow. You know, they're caught in a trap. And yep. Here's a perfect example of that, because if they tried or attempted to short cover right now, it would cause the most dramatic price move in history.
Yes.
And so they're caught in a position where they have to smash it to create a perception that silver's too volatile and it's archaic and it won't go higher, because if it starts to move and you see that type of short squeeze, it will be GameStop on steroids.
What he is saying is this: if everybody starts buying silver, they're going to smash the value of it. They're going to try to manipulate the market, make it look like the coin is not that valuable or even drop in value. So what do? You hold the line. You don't sell your silver. In fact, you go out and you buy more. You see, what they want to do is paint the impression that silver is losing value. And I don't care how many times they do it or how many times they try it, you don't part with your silver. You go buy more. The more you buy, the more screwed they are.
Well, it certainly seems like it's set up for that, and it's interesting as we're recording today. I'm getting messages from cell phones, computers, chat, Twitter about that Reddit chat group has started a silver manipulation thread,
Yes.
and apparently people are becoming intrigued quite quickly. So quite exciting times. And along with that,
Listen to me. I'm talking to people in the UK. I'm talking to people in Australia, New Zealand, Spain, Germany. All of them. They're saying, what do you think? I said, you guys push this. Tell people, everybody you know. I don't give a crap. Find a way, buy or get aluminum cans, trade them in, sell stuff that you don't even need. Do whatever it takes. Keep removing as much silver off the market as possible. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place, man. This is the time. This is the time. Now is the time. You want that. When we were talking about where silver can get up to a real high value, you want that to happen? Now is the time. But it takes everybody to do this. And when it looks like it's getting scary and they try to manipulate the value and you see it dropping, do not sell. Do not panic. You hold the line. The longer you hold on to the silver, the higher it goes in value.
can you fill in what is happening on the physical level? How many buyers versus sellers? What is the order flow like there at this particular time?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this on our conversation today on your live chat. And, you know, it's important to understand that in this industry, which is just-in-time industry, which we really realized that in March when the lockdowns inhibited the ability to get product imported and delivered easily. Right now, you know, for the last couple of weeks, supply has been pretty decent as 2021 product came into the marketplace. It's typically produced late in the previous year, late in 2020. And so the allocations that we all received here early in the year was produced earlier in 2020 or at the latter stages of the year. When you see the U.S. Mint run out of gold, eagles, and buffaloes 2 weeks into January, your eyebrows ought to raise a little bit, thinking, well, what's that all about? Typically,
2 weeks into this new year, the Mint has already ran out of gold and silver eagles. What does that mean? That means there is a shortage of precious metals.
typically, when we see problems with supply, they happen much, much later in the year. When I called my operations this morning to ask what would be a good silver item to list as a special for Arcadia, his exact words were to me, this is getting, supply is getting sketchy.
Sketchy.
And, you know, so it's something that can change at the drop of a hat. And that's something I've always had a hard time even getting used to in this industry, where one day I'm quoting someone the ability to do a $10 million order, no problem. And the next day getting a fraction of that becomes challenging without any massive delivery delays. In terms of order flow and style, I've been saying this for the better part of a year with you, the majority of the business we do, and we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars a year, Chris, the majority is in silver these days. And
yes.
Junk silver, as an example, which was been blowing out for the last several months, is getting hard to come by right now, all of a sudden.
Is it? Junk silver. People are saying, what does that mean? I hate that term, junk silver. It's known as constitutional silver. This is when our coins were made of silver pre-1965. And on half dollars between 1965 and 1970 was 40% silver. But if you go to Money Metals, right? Let me show you what you do. So if you go to the website, and their link is down in the description. See this little drop-down menu right here? See it? Go over here where it says junk silver. Click it. There it is. They don't have a shortage. So this is actually the cheapest way to buy silver. See this? $111.95. You can increase it, 10 face value. They have it available. Okay? Junk silver, constitutional silver is what they're talking about. So if you want just 90% silver, half dollars, they have those here. So if you want just all half dollars, see this? $5 face value, $111.95. Let me push you in that direction because you get more that way. It's cheaper. And that's why he's talking about it. Even junk silver is hard to get because you get a lot more bang for your buck.
This is an item that you can't repurchase. And one of the things that I've often said about the characteristics of a gold and silver bull market, especially as it gets going, is that they say there's no bull market like a precious metals market because it's identified by concern. And whether the price is behaving in the manner we think it should, the concern collectively of the public is growing.
Yes.
For whatever reason. There's a myriad of reasons we should all be concerned, from economically, socially, politically, morally, whatever gets you concerned. That's a personal thing. But when people are accumulating precious metals, most of them aren't doing it to get wealthy. They know it's undervalued. They know it offers good potential. That's probably the biggest reason to buy it over gold, because it is undervalued and it does have massive potential. But they're buying it because they're concerned. So we're seeing virtually nothing in the way of people selling, nothing. And on the big down days, you can rest assured that people aren't flocking to their phone to place sell orders with us. It's the opposite of that. They buy knowing it's a great value, that they've received a subsidy for the day. And I will just simply end that question by saying it's the same thing I've been saying for the last several months. Always the little boy who cried wolf, always early. But this market will define itself by the inability to easily source product. It can change in the blink of an eye. And when
source product, it's already scarce. Already. Do you really want to get a chance to crash the commercial banks? Do you want a chance to crash JP Morgan? This is the time. All you have to do is go out there and buy 1 ounce, 2 ounces at the very least. But if you happen to buy 100, you can buy 1 ounce from Money Metals. You can buy 2 ounces. I encourage you to do so. But I said this, first time buyers, if you do spend over $100 on silver, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and they give you a free half ounce of silver. The power is finally in our hands. We have them dead to rights. Now is the time. We keep buying all you can get. I know that sounds crazy, but if there's enough of us around the world and we keep doing this, and trust me, I'm not the only person talking about it. There's other platforms talking about it. We have them right where we want them. Now is the time. But once you buy that, you hold on to it. No matter what they do to try to drive the value down, don't fall for that trick. You continue to hold it. Keep buying, hold it. The inventory is too scarce. This is your chance to beat the elite. All you had to do was encourage family members, encourage friends, tell everybody, just go buy 1 damn ounce. I don't care if you like the coin or not, just go buy it. Buy one. Encourage everybody to buy 1 ounce of silver. Everybody, everywhere. Let me know what you think. You going to do it? I hope so. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because we do have stuff to the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.